Recently, the news has been awash with talk about crypto regulation and exchange crackdowns. That's placed everyone who's looking to dip their toes into the crypto markets in a little bit of a conundrum. Sure, you may love using a particular exchange, but could it one day become impossible as banks and regulators limit your ability to do so? Therefore, one of the best long-term solutions is to find yourself a fully regulated crypto exchange. But here's the million Bitcoin question. Which one is best? In this video, I'll be sharing my top 5 regulated exchanges and telling you about the pros and cons of each. I'll also give you some top tips you need to know before using any exchange. Oh, and if you stick around to the end, I'll reveal which exchange I'm personally using right now and why. Before I get cracking, there's a bombshell I need to drop. Some of you may think of me as a crypto wizard, a guru, or maybe even a crypto professor. Yes, all that is very flattering. However, there's one thing that I am not, and that is a financial advisor. So if you're looking for financial advice, I'm afraid you'll have to go elsewhere. Now, with that disappointment out of the way, I want to say howdy to all the new viewers out there. The name is Guy, your crypto guy, and over here at the Bureau, my team and I are on a mission to help you navigate the murky world of cryptocurrency. So if you're interested in learning about the cryptoverse to help you make the right decisions, then you'll want to enroll in Team Coin Bureau by hitting that subscribe button and dinging that little bell. Do that, and the overlords at YouTube will let you know whenever I release another video. One more thing, unlike your government, I actually respect your time. So check out the video timeline below. I've broken up this vid into handy sections to enable you to skip ahead to the parts that interest you the most. But video skippers beware. If you choose to do that, then you'll miss out on some of my nuggets of digital gold. So, what is the best regulated crypto exchange right now? Let's take a look. To kick things off, I'd better give you a brief overview and explain why you probably want to use a regulated crypto exchange in the first place. I mean, crypto is meant to be the Wild West, right? Why should you bother restricting your search for a top-notch crypto exchange to only regulated ones? Well, several high-profile crypto exchanges have found themselves in a bit of a regulatory pickle recently. That includes the likes of Binance, who were given a warning shot across the bows by the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, or FCA. Those financial regulators dropped this little number in June this year. This said that no other entity in the Binance group holds any form of UK authorization, registration, or license to conduct regulated activity in the UK. Now, it must be noted that the FCA warning only applied to Binance Markets Limited, a company that does not offer any products or services via Binance.com. In spite of that, UK Binance users started experiencing deposit and withdrawal problems. Indeed, Binance even ended up frozen out of Faster Payments, the major payment network for UK bank transfers. Then, Binance had to suspend payments leveraging the EU's SEPA network. So yeah, Binance users based anywhere in Europe began to have deposit issues too. All those problems were due to payment processors and banks being spooked by Binance being in the regulatory crosshairs. Hong Kong, Lithuania, and Japan have also issued warnings and restrictions against the exchange in what appears to be a coordinated regulatory crackdown. That's driven several specialist hedge funds to cut their exposure to Binance. Now, in response to that, Binance has reduced withdrawal limits for non-KYC'd accounts to a mere 0.06 BTC. So the point here is that we are seemingly entering an era of increased crypto regulations. And those based in countries whose financial regulators are not satisfied with an exchange's compliance are likely to have a pretty frustrating experience. Now, I don't mean to pick on Binance, and it must be stressed that Binance has come out and said that it's seeking to pivot and become a fully regulated financial institution. However, these processes take a lot of time, and there isn't a simple one-size-fits-all answer here. The truth is that different countries and regions have different regulations and licenses. That means a major factor which determines which exchange is best for you will be what country you're living in. So that's why I've decided to break down my top regulated exchange picks by which countries they support. Now, if you're based somewhere pretty exotic, then you might be worried that there simply isn't a regulated exchange that accepts users from your country. Never fear. Unless you're based in a place like North Korea, then I have an option for you on my list. Oh yes, another thing to note is that this list is in no particular order, so do bear that in mind. Anyhow, with that preamble out of the way, let's take a look at some of these exchanges, shall we? For starters, I'm going to hop across the pond and tell you about my favourite regulated exchanges that take users from the land of the free and the home of the brave. That would, of course, be the good old US of A. So first up, I have the Gemini exchange. This exchange has been up and running since 2015, and in my book, it's one of the most underrated exchanges in crypto. But is it regulated? Well, Gemini made regulatory compliance one of its major selling points many years ago. Indeed, these chaps actually took out New York subway ads with the tagline, "Finally, a regulated place to buy, sell, and store crypto." They've run ad campaigns in New York in the past stating that, quote, "the revolution needs rules," and declaring Gemini as the regulated cryptocurrency exchange. Now, all that sounds great. But how is Gemini licensed and regulated? Well, the Gemini exchange is owned and operated by the Gemini Trust Company, LLC. That New York trust company is actually regulated by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Now, this is actually a very big deal, seeing that many US-facing crypto exchanges simply block users from New York. They do that because most exchanges out there must find it too risky or burdensome to comply with the regulator's capitalization, compliance, anti-money laundering, consumer protection, and cybersecurity requirements. But those requirements didn't seem to faze Gemini. Indeed, being regulated by possibly the most stringent regulators on the planet has been a massive thumbs up for anyone looking for a US-regulated crypto exchange. So, Gemini appears to have gone out of its way to play by the rules. A great example of that is that as a trust company, it's actually statutorily exempt from having to register with FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network of the US. Despite that, Gemini actually has an account with FinCEN so it can file compliance reports. Now, I guess all that compliance is kind of fun for some people. Now, this isn't something that will impact US users. However, remember those recent problems that Binance had with the FCA? Well, Gemini actually got FCA approval to expand into the UK last year. So that just goes to show that this is certainly an exchange that is serious about regulatory compliance. So, who are Gemini's good boy founders that love to play by the rules? Well, that would be the Winklevoss twins, hence the name Gemini, astrology fans. Yep, those are the same guys that founded ConnectU back in 2002 and had a little disagreement about who came up with the idea of Facebook with a certain Mark Zuckerberg. Anyhow, now you know about Gemini's strict compliance with existing regulations, you probably won't be surprised to hear that Gemini is the leading crypto platform for corporations, asset managers, and wealth managers. Those types of chaps tend to prefer to use platforms where they have strong assurances that their clients' money is safe. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who can use Gemini? Well, for starters, I cannot find a single US state that you cannot use Gemini from. Other supported countries include most of Europe, South Africa, South Korea, India, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and other nations in both South America and Asia. Now, if you want to see if your country is accepted, then be sure to check out the link to the full supported list in the description below. Now, there's simply no point in creating an account at an exchange if the cryptocurrency you want isn't on the shelves. At Gemini, over 45 cryptos are supported, and you can check out the full list over here. That, of course, includes blue-chip cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. However, there is a decent selection of more punchy altcoins available here too, like the Sandbox, Injective Protocol, and Decentraland. To put that altcoin buffet into perspective, Robinhood only supports a mere 7 cryptocurrencies. Amateurs. Now, that brings me on to the very important subject of deposit methods. At Gemini, ACH, wire transfers, debit cards, and crypto deposits are all available. However, be warned that debit cards will attract a fee of 3.49%, and wire transfers incur fees from your bank. That means if you're a bit of a penny pincher like me, then you'll want to opt for ACH, as it's the only free deposit method supported. Next up on the question of fees, we have those pesky trading fees. Yes, the interface for web orders is super beginner-friendly. However, you will pay through the nose for that convenience. Here there are two types of fee. The first is a convenience fee of 0.5% of the entire transaction. Then you'll pay an extra 1.49% on top of that as a transaction fee. So yeah, you'll be shelling out 1.99% in fees here. Of course, there is a much simpler method to dramatically reduce those fees, and that is if you use Gemini's active trader interface, which is designed for more advanced traders. It basically offers things like advanced charting, additional trading pairs, different order types, and allows you to see the order books. The fees here are a lot more reasonable, with taker fees starting from 0.35% and maker fees at 0.25%. So Gemini Exchange users are going to want to do their trading on Active Trader if they really want to reduce their trading cost over the long run. Oh yes, here's another fun fact. US customers can also be safe in the knowledge that US dollar balances are covered under FDIC insurance, and that's good for balances up to $250,000. They also have a beautiful mobile app too, perfect for anyone wanting to trade on the go. So, to summarize, who is Gemini for? Well, in my humble opinion, it's a solid option for anyone who wants a straight-up crypto exchange to buy and sell crypto with a good selection of altcoins. That brings me on to my second top pick for those based in the US, and that would have to be FTX US. Unsurprisingly, FTX US is the US subsidiary of the increasingly popular FTX exchange. The exchange has been around for about a year now, with FTX US being based in Berkeley, California. These chaps have been making waves in the US market after recently closing a 5-year sponsorship deal with Major League Baseball. It also turns out that the NBA's Miami Heat will now be playing in the FTX arena. FTX has also got legendary quarterback Tom Brady as a shareholder and brand ambassador, along with his wife Giselle. But is FTX regulated? Well, the exchange does comply with many financial services and consumer protection laws. That includes anti-money laundering controls with the help of Chainalysis, who run a highly respected crypto transaction monitoring service. The exchange is also registered as a money services business with FinCEN, so that means FTX US is compliant with the requirements of the Bank Secrecy Act. Honestly, FTX US is one of the most interesting US-facing exchanges, with a smorgasbord of different features. That includes things like crypto cards, an NFT marketplace, and much more. To do this exchange justice, I decided to do a dedicated video on it, and I highly recommend you watch that to learn about the ins and outs of FTX US. I've also got an exclusive deal for you over there too. At this exchange, you'll get your first $30 in trading fees free, after which you'll get a 10% trading fee discount for life. So if that sounds interesting, you can check that out over here. Now, there is a world outside of the US. So what regulated exchange options are there for those based in Europe? Let's have a look. My third regulated exchange pick is the option I personally use right now, and that would be Swissborg. Alrighty, I'm just going to be straightforward and say that the Swissborg app is the easiest way I've found to buy crypto. But what kind of licenses does this app have? Well, in short, Swissborg holds a virtual currency service license granted by the Estonian regulator. Yes, I know that many of you may not be all that familiar with Estonia, but it's an EU nation with exceptionally progressive attitudes towards crypto and blockchain. The regulatory framework over there includes strict reporting and KYC rules. Licensing requirements were further tightened here back in 2019 and in 2020. Essentially, Estonia went further by asserting that virtual currency service providers would be treated in the same way as financial institutions under the Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Prevention Act. That resulted in the Estonian government revoking over 1,000 licenses in late 2020 due to non-compliance. Oh yes, that Estonian license now covers exchange operations and crypto wallet services. The point is that despite the purge of over 1,000 non-compliant crypto businesses, Swissborg was one of the few crypto businesses that managed to retain its virtual currency service license. That was no doubt thanks to them fully meeting KYC and anti-money laundering requirements. Good news for those wanting a compliant, Europe-focused exchange. So, who can use Swissborg? Well, Swissborg is actually available in over 100 countries. That includes pretty much all of Europe, places like the UAE, the UK, and Singapore. I've placed a link to Swissborg's supported country list in the description, so check that out if you want to see whether you can sign up here. When it comes to cryptocurrency support, there are around 20 to choose from. These include the major players like Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, you can also get access to some more exotic altcoins like Engine, Aave, and Chiliz. But where Swissborg really shines is when it comes to fiat currency support. I mean, no one likes to lose a vast chunk of their deposit to foreign exchange fees after all. Well, Swissborg supports deposits and withdrawals in all the currencies over here. Now, honestly, that's some pretty impressive fiat currency support. But what's even more impressive is when I've had to convert some crypto and withdraw a few quid to my bank account to pay bills and such like. That money literally hit my bank account in minutes. Oh yes, another thing you need to know is that all deposits on Swissborg are completely free. Another neat feature offered by Swissborg is its Earn program. Here you can get up to 8.83% interest on CHSB, 8% on USDC, 8% on BNB, and even 4% on BTC. So yes, if you want to ride the price of crypto and earn crypto interest while you wait, you can do that on Swissborg by using their Smart Yield feature. However, here's the thing. To get those top rates of interest, you'll need to upgrade your Swissborg account. Now honestly, the best value option would be the Community Premium. To get it, you just need to stake 2,000 CHSB tokens and you'll get boosted yields of up to 6%. Handy for earning that crypto interest. Exchange fees will also be reduced from default fee of 1% to 0.75%. Also, because it's staked crypto, it's not really a cost. That's because you can always unstake it when you feel like it and get the tokens back after a year. Now, if you have the funds to spare, you can always crush those trading fees down to zero and get the top yield rate. However, most people out there are unlikely to have 50,000 CHSB tokens lying around. Some of you might want a little step-by-step guide showing you how to buy crypto with Swissborg. Well, fortunately, I've actually done a video about that already. In there, you'll also find my top crypto security tips as well. So if you want to watch that, you know where to go. But who is Swissborg for? Well, honestly, it's perfect for those that value fast deposits and withdrawals with the option to earn crypto interest, all within one super beginner-friendly app. On top of that, I actually have a little deal for anyone wanting to give Swissborg a try. If you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit €50 or more, then you'll get up to €100 in free CHSB tokens. You might want to bag that little number while you can. Now, I've shared my top regulated exchange options for both US and European users. However, what about everyone else? Well, you're going to need a truly global crypto exchange. So, at number 4, I have Kraken. Now, I don't want to dwell on Kraken too much, as I've already done a detailed review comparing Kraken with Coinbase Pro, and you can check that out over there. However, these guys certainly deserve a spot on my list of global regulated exchanges. But why, you may ask? Well, the amount of regulatory mumbo-jumbo that's been going on here is pretty astonishing. The first thing to know about Kraken is that it's regulated by FinCEN. Kraken Bank is also regulated by the Wyoming Division of Banking. And on top of all that, the exchange is registered as a money service business at FinCEN in the USA and FinTrack in Canada. It's also regulated by the UK FCA, and Kraken holds licenses in Australia and even Japan too. So yeah, that's one heck of a globally regulated exchange if you ask me. But who is Kraken for? Well, Kraken only blocks services to users from a handful of countries. That includes the likes of North Korea, Iran, and Syria. So this makes Kraken a top choice for almost anyone wanting a regulated cryptocurrency exchange option. Now it's time to reveal my final regulated exchange pick. Without any further ado, let's take a look at that bad boy. In 5th slot, I have got Coinbase. Yes, I'm sure that everyone watching has heard of this lot. However, what you may not have known is the truly impressive collection of regulatory licenses they have. That includes dozens of money transmitter licenses for US states. Yes, Coinbase is also registered as a money services business with good old FinCEN in the US. And according to Coinbase, it complies with all applicable laws and regulations in each jurisdiction it operates in. Put this way, Coinbase is so compliant with regulations that it was able to list its shares on the US stock exchange. So there's little to worry about here on that front. Yes, Coinbase accepts users from over 100 countries, is super easy to use, and offers access to dozens of cryptocurrencies. However, I'm not going to lie, that convenience and ease of use comes at a price. When it comes to trading fees, you'll be charged a spread of 0.5% for crypto buys and sells. On top of that, you'll be charged a flat fee or an extra 1.49% if the transaction is over $200. So yeah, pretty much 2% in fees there. However, much like Gemini, there is a trick to reduce those trading fees using its Pro platform. I actually explained how to do that in a recent video I did comparing Robinhood to Coinbase, and you guys already know where to go to get that good stuff. So, who is Coinbase for? Well, if your goal is to get access to a decent selection of cryptocurrencies in a beginner-friendly way, then Coinbase could well be worth a try. But do be aware that you'll pay for that ease of use. Now, that's about all I have time for today, folks. The truth is that cryptocurrency regulations are constantly evolving. They're also hard to make sense of when every country views them through a different lens. However, it'll be interesting to see how these develop over time. I should also point out that regulated exchanges are pretty expensive when it comes to fees. That shouldn't be too surprising. After all, those licenses cost money, and so do all the systems and processes required to comply with regulatory bodies. If an exchange chose not to pay for any of that, then it makes it much easier to offer lower fees. So if you're interested in getting started on any of the exchanges mentioned in this video, then don't forget to sign up using the links in the description below. And now it's time to hear your thoughts. What do you think is the best regulated exchange? And do you have any questions? Use that comments section. Finally, if you got value from this video, then let me know by hitting that like button. Those that want to take the plunge and sign me up as your personal crypto guy, then you can make that happen with a smash of that subscribe button and by punching that bell. Stay well, folks, and stay cryptic.